Since the beginning of this channel, we have gone through quite a few big changes. We started off in Ireland, then moved back to Canada and bought a 32-foot sailboat named Blue Peter. We had a ton of fun on Blue Peter, but it just didn't feel like she was big enough for us to live on full time, so we decided to look for something bigger. Next we purchased Nordic 5. She seemed like a great boat for us until we started finding things the surveyor had missed and realized that some of these issues were deal breakers. So after doing 4 months worth of repairs in a boatyard, we put her back on the market and began our search for another boat, again. And that's where we're at today, buying another boat. We decided we were done with the normal life and set out to turn our lives into an adventure. This is our story, the good, the bad, and the crazy. Join us as we sail, explore, and share our mistakes along the way. Welcome to the Wayward life.
Where you going all the way to?
We moved to Ireland because we wanted an adventure. I had wanted to live abroad my entire life, and both of us were tired of putting our time and effort into a system that we didn't believe in. So we packed up our lives and jumped on a plane to another continent.
This is all of our luggage. Max's crate, made smaller.
However, we discovered that we weren't going to be able to afford to live in Ireland due to car insurance issues. So we started formulating a plan where we could live a lifestyle that was more practical but still unique.
So our super weirdo dog has done this fun thing where he's decided that the car is going to be his bed every night. So Max is already in the car because he's been in here since breakfast time because he likes it better in here than he does in our little suite, which is pretty funny.
Not long before heading to Ireland, we had discovered sailing vlogs on YouTube and realized that living on a sailboat incorporated all the things we loved most about life: nature, travel, and living sustainably. So we started looking for a boat that we could learn to sail on and hopefully live on. We even looked in Ireland before we came home trying to find a boat, but most of the boats in Ireland are about under 30 feet, and so it was really hard for us to find what we wanted. But a lot of the boats over there are bilge keel boats, which is really cool because they have 2 keels and they can just sit on the sand when the bays dry out. And over in Ireland, a lot of the bays dry out at low tide, so it's very cool to be able to do that and not have to worry about being in a deeper water. We first bought a production-built Ontario 32 named Blue Peter, which is a beautiful little boat that has done many blue water and around-the-world journeys, so we knew she could take us places. We also knew she would be a great boat to learn to sail on. We spent over a year on her, learning to sail and exploring the west coast, but she wasn't big enough for us to live on and wasn't insulated properly for winter living. So now lots of people live on small boats. Like Marty and May, who you've seen in a ton of our videos, they lived on a 30-foot boat with 2 dogs the size of Max for years, and they loved it. But for us, and the way that we are together, the way that we like to live life, it just was not comfortable for us to be living on a 32-foot boat, unfortunately. One thing that the Ontario didn't have as well was like a second cabin. So if we had guests or anybody staying on board, they had to sleep on the settee, which meant that there was like even less space available to move around. It kind of felt like living in a camper, which again, lots of people love doing, but just for how we are as people, it was not comfortable. So we started looking for something bigger. We were convinced we needed an aft cabin, a center cockpit, and for her to sail well. We also wanted steel, but couldn't find anything within our price range that met all the criteria. We looked for a long time and finally settled on Nordic 5. We found Nordic after looking for quite a long time for boats, and there just wasn't a lot on the market that fit like the criteria that we wanted. And Nordic seemed to fit all of the criteria that we wanted, except she wasn't steel and she was custom built. And we'd been warned quite a few times by people to not buy a custom built boat because you didn't really know what you were getting into and they're harder to sell. So we ended up purchasing Nordic 5 because she looked great, and when we got her surveyed, she checked out. There was like a few things that the surveyor said, like this might be this or it might be this, because she was custom. He couldn't tell like which way it was going to go without tearing the boat apart. So we purchased her, very excited that we had finally found a boat that was going to fit our needs. Not long after buying Nordic 5, we noticed some pretty serious issues that had been missed by the surveyor, so we decided to haul out to fix the problems, thinking we would only be on the hard for about a month. 4 months later, we had discovered that Nordic was built completely different than what we thought she was, and she was never going to be the boat to bring us to the places that we wanted to go in the world. So we listed her for sale and started the search for a different boat, again. Well folks, it is What day is it today? It's Sunday at 6 o'clock. We're sitting in our new house and we're just getting ready to head out to Campbell River to go sailing on the boat that we want to buy. It's also in Campbell River and we have to time the current getting out of there, so we have to be there at 8 o'clock and we have to drop Max off at Marty and May's boat before we go out sailing. And it's an hour and a half drive from where we bought our house, so that's what we're doing. It's tired out. We did not pick these curtains, but they're here.
We gotta get going?
Yeah, we gotta get going. We're very excited about this, actually. We've been waiting like months to actually be able to go out sailing on this boat, and if she sails well, which hopefully we get some wind, then we get to move forward on the purchasing process, so that's exciting. So that's where we're at today. We didn't film a ton of this adventure because we were busy sailing and getting a feel for the boat, but here is a little bit of that adventure. We are just gently floating around on Paparumba, about to get the sails up. Beautiful day. Paparumba is a steel Van de Stadt Norman 40 built in Amsterdam in 1997.
Take a little time. Since you went away, it came to a halt. Silence is everywhere, and you're not.
We're not gonna worry about it.
What do you think?
Super.
She's
Fantastic.
done.
Yeah.
He wants your old boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I... Yeah, let's go back to that.
It's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so comfortable. Like, I just can't get over it. Like, not that the seas are crazy today, but even, like, we'd be bouncing.
When the sea's crazy, she's solid.
Yeah.
You don't bounce.
Well, when we went over that little bit of weight from that boat going 5 feet, you didn't even
Oh, she
feel it.
plowed through it, yeah.
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 I love that. Not surprisingly, after sailing her, we decided to move forward with the purchasing process. So we are on Paparumba today, just heading over to the boat lift to get her hauled out and checked out because we're surveying her today. Very exciting. It's actually a really calm, beautiful day out too, which makes it a lot easier because obviously we're moving the boat. And there's crazy currents around here, so yeah. We've got Mark here, surveying. Amanda's driving the boat. That's pretty much it.
You ran away from all the madness. You stumbled till you found your pace. I know now you were better off without me. I should set this world on fire. I should tear this town apart. I'm hurting just to feel my body. I'm breaking just to be apart. I tried like a million people, and your beautiful life.
Mark was very thorough with his survey, and after receiving the final report, which didn't find anything major or potentially major wrong with the boat, we decided to move forward with the sale and to buy Paparumba. Well guys, it's a beautiful day and we're on the boat! So exciting! So we're cleaning it, we're moving a little bit of stuff on, and then we'll fully move on the boat once it's all clean, but it's too hard to move everything on and clean it at the same time. So we've got 2 cabins, a saloon, a head obviously, and a galley, and we just got to get all that cleaned, and then we officially move on to the boat. So yeah, there's a lot of surface area in this boat, but it's gonna be worth it. There's also a lot of really nice wood. It's beautiful. I'm really excited about it. These covers, they just snap in under the hatches, just like that. You probably can't see because of the sun. Just like that. And it insulates the boat a little bit better, so you don't lose a bunch of heat through those.
Well, it keeps the condensation down.
That too, yeah.
It acts as a barrier.
It's good for lots of stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. It's like a double pane window then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're excited.
Yeah, we are
Woot woot!
doing stuff.
Yay! Okay, bye.
I'm not positive what will be in next week's video because this is all caught up in real time, so I guess you'll just have to wait and see. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone you know, and subscribe to see where we end up now that we finally have the boat that we want for adventures. See you next week.